So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud to present the one and only this perfect weekend debriefing with my, I can't find words how to describe these marvelous, awesome, amazing colleagues, Betty and Dagmawi, where it's just fun. You wake up in the morning and you know you're going to meet them online, and whatever happened, you feel good. So therefore, thanks again for spending an hour with me and spending time with me. Whew. How were the days?
I feel good.
How were the days? Because we talk about Sunday.
I think it was good, especially, for example, the last thing that we did playing Busara online, I think was for the first time almost having that experience was actually really good. And I thought it was actually going to be a bit more frustrating because there's probably internet connection lagging, and also there's feedback lagging, like people are not going to see what happens quickly.
Yeah.
But it was not actually as bad as I thought. So that was really interesting to learn. And what else? Work session was also really good, productive today, at least for me. So going well from my side.
What about you, Dagam?
Und du?
Wow. I feel good.
I feel good.
I feel really good. Like I knew that I would. Like so good. Like I feel so good. I got you guys. Like
so good.
I got you.
And when I hold you in my arms, you know, guys, like when I hold you in my arms, I know that I can't do no wrong. You know that, right, guys? And when I hold you in my arms, like my love won't do no harm. That was so good. That's actually, it was nice actually.
Nice.
It was a bit straining for my back and legs because I was standing the whole time. But yeah, the people loved it at the end, so the performance somehow worked. And yeah, especially the last game we played, it was really nice. There were a lot of things like, I think like this is the first time that I saw a three board combination, and Betty kind of did it, and which was like really interesting. And even like the players were surprised by it, and the gameplay experience was somehow good. Before that, we were doing the location-based game as well. I think like we did our fourth prototype, right? Like we're doing the fourth prototype. It seems like the changes we're making are not that much, like we're coming to the final product in a way, and in a couple of days, I think we'll have something. And yeah, that was it. That was good.
For all of you, for everyone who think, what kind of game? What kind of game? It's about Busara. Check it online, guys. Busara. It's one of the coolest board games ever made, and you should try it. You can download it for free. So you just download it. You take a skizzer, you cut out all the resources, and then you can play it, and it's really fun. And as Betty, Dagam, and I are trying to do our very best to come to Germany in December, or I am in Germany, to go to Ludwigshafen in December. And we're going to bring a version of Busara with us. So that's the invitation, just not only talk about games, but play games with us. That would be great. And yes, I agree on that. It's quite, the funny thing is that what I found out, what this guy said in the end, and the feedback for today is saying that we need to relearn how to play games online. So usually we play online games, but we do not play games online. That's a bit different. And it's something that this is quite interesting. I remember this one session that we did when we tried to, like, I think you were the host, Dagam, where it was about how to change a video conference by game mechanics, how to play games on a video conference, in one or the other way. And we played the werewolf. Yeah, so you should do a TV show with that, playing the werewolf as Dagam. That would be great. Dagam, the master of your werewolves. So it's it would be great.
Actually, like why we chose Busara for today, like and like the relationship to the whole LUtopia initiative was also like Inter Africa was our previous project that we did with the Goethe Institute, and we did it with 15 African countries. And the whole notion of the game, it was not about the game per se. It was about having these 15 teams from these 15 African countries explore the future of their cities, and we were trying to
Yes.
kind of forecast what Africa, or like how Africa would be portrayed in the coming 30, 20, 50 years. And what we did at the end is like we got all of this 15 teams from these 15 African countries together, and we made them imagine the future of Africa, and we kind of turned it into a game. And actually why we wanted to play this game with during the LUtopia project workshop, because like it perfectly fits in, because that was also like a city somehow envisioning initiative, and maybe like having it, bringing it in, and how we translated the essence of like what it means to be an African, or what it
Yes.
means to be from Africa, into a game. That process is actually more or less not the similar, but it's a process that we're also using right now, like trying to understand how the people connect with their environment, and trying to translate it into these products that we're going to deliver to the project at the end of the day. So it's really it was an interesting connection that was created between the Inter-Africa and Busara and the LUtopia initiative.
Yes, it is.
You know, like when we were talking about on the second day after perceiving the city, we were talking about understanding the city. And like the thing that you've been mentioning also, Dagam, which is also true, is that games made intentionally by some people do reflect the state of being. And if it was made by a community, then it reflects a community state of thinking and processes and ways of life that they would find meaningful or not meaningful. And so by understanding these things, which takes us back to our second day, could even become the starting point to understand what the future of cities hold. And this was done for Africa. So imagining that, let's say, Christoph's idea that we do this for Germany or Ludwigshafen, then we are creating another sense of, okay, where do you begin first? Because that becomes the starting point to understanding where the society's level of processing, thinking, and values are left in. So by playing these games, maybe there's more communication created instead of actually talking about it. As we always say, games are the best way to communicate as far as human knows it. So that's one of the good classes of today.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, especially if you think about, I believe in the fact that games are the best way of communicating, even kind of connect the world in one or the other way. But what I found out, or what I saw today for a minute, was the one thing is that there is a big difference in, so if you say games are connecting the world, or it is it's the best way of communicate, but on the other side, it's still work in terms of like, today I had a feeling, on the one hand, we need to understand what are the similarities in playing games. So like a game like FIFA or whatever can be, people are playing it all over the world. But on the other side, there are specific game variations of games, perspectives on games that are connected to the local cultures, like to African culture, or maybe even not only African culture. Maybe there are particularly versions or perspectives in each African country, or even in East Asia or something like that. So to understand these differences, I guess it's very important. And the other element is that I have in mind is that I guess it's a bit like this song, "We Only Tasted the Wine." I think we do not have a situation where there is a majority of people understanding this energy which is behind that. So because it's not only a language that brings you together, it's also something where we kind of can create totally new ideas of something. It's a new way of being creative. It's a new way of even being interactive. And this is something that is also quite important. But I still believe that we are just at the beginning of this journey.
Yeah.
not in connection to our journey, but at all. You know, this is something that I learned today, and it's something even that I found out. To be honest, I thought by myself for the whole day. I thought, well, I'm working with you guys since, I don't know, 3-4 years. Yeah. And it's still, whenever you talk about games from the African perspective, it's always like I'm a tiny little boy learning from the scratch. So there's so much to explore and to understand, and it's quite interesting. That's one of the things that I found out today. Makes me, it's a big, not a, yeah, it's a great thing. It's a big chance for me just to be able to learn from you, even and to get all these new perspectives. So if I can say thank you for this. So I just want to thank you, by the way.
No, thank you, thank you. Actually, like it's the highway of games is like it's two ways. One is you can actually try, like we did, like you can try to create like an imaginary thing using a game, or you can use games as a communication media, and if like for example like across cultures and across language, because for example take the Olympics for example. If you look at the Olympics, it's the biggest event ever, and people from all walks of life go there, and they don't even need to talk to one another. They just understand what they do. Like they're running, they're jumping, they're shooting. They're communicating with those language, and they don't even need to talk. Like they don't even. For example, if you look at our runners, most of them they don't even speak English, but they are really famous in the Olympics because they play games. Like they are really good runners. They are really good football players. So like you can bring anyone from anywhere, and you can have someone, and you can have them play football or like some mind games, and they will play it without even the need for communication. And this is one of the ways. The other way that we were exploring today was, okay, we can make games as a communication media, but if we look at games that are already created, we can also see the minds of the people who created them. And that's what we were saying, that chase actually portrays the Western way of seeing things, or the Western essence. And if you play Go from the East Asia, you can see the Eastern essence. And if you play Mancala or Busara, you can actually, without coming to Africa and asking people in Africa about what it means to be an African, by playing these games, you can understand the dynamics, how the people connect to one another, like what values that they respect, and what virtues and like philosophies they follow. You can see it in their games, and it's really interesting that we can use this tool to pass a message, and also like to understand whoever is passing a message. And that's, I think, like the beauty of it, and we kind of saw it today as well. It didn't take us a long time for the people to play it, and they only saw it for the first time, and by after 20 minutes they were playing it, they were like doing everything with one another. And imagine if we're teaching them language, it would have taken them at least 3 months or 6 months just to get the basics of saying hi, goodbye, let's talk, to asking directions and stuff like that. And yeah, I think like this is what we've been exploring, and the best is still yet to come. Yes. I'm just scared that one day our mind somehow blows up and we die. Like that's my biggest fear.
Because we cannot
but
die.
Other than that, I'm completely. We should not die. We should not die.
We should never die. We just become dust. We just become mind. We just become sense, and we kind of. We become a playful sphere about the planet, and our senses and our dreams and our fantasies, they will kind of create this energy. And it's like, and the good thing on that will be, it won't be that we create a religion or whatever. It is just what we are. It is just, you don't.
That's a good idea, by the way. That would be a good idea.
Yeah, so that's in the end, and it's like that's the reason why we're going to write this ebook about the LUtopia project, because it is just a translation so that you understand what it means to be connected with this sphere at the end. So yeah.
True.
Yes.
Imagine one day we just open Zoom, and what I would be seeing is just this pink fluid, and I don't know what that is. It's like, oh, that's actually your brain is like.
Yeah, maybe we're gonna live in the Zoom. Maybe this will be our life. Maybe one day, you know, you touch a computer, and in that moment, your mind will be transferred into this computer verse, and then you find out that life was just a crazy onboarding process, and that's all. So, okay. Guys, we are tired. We are exhausted. We are working a lot of time, 7 days. I want to say thank you for this wonderful experience with you. It is I would say just say thank you. So I wouldn't my life would
thank you. Like
not that
would be also
cool without you guys. So therefore, yes, we're going to see you tomorrow. We're going to see us tomorrow. We're going to work together, do some more stuff. And I'm looking forward for all the madness that might come.
Yes,
Bye-bye, sleep
may
well.
you live long and prosper, and may the force be with you.
Walk.